The Chicago Bears may have wrapped up their offseason program, but the front office clearly isn't in vacation mode. On August 12, 2025, Hollis Hall was buzzing with activity as General Manager Ryan Poles authorized a dramatic shakeup to the roster. In one afternoon, the team finalized 8 separate moves, 4 new signings, 3 players waived, and 1 sent to injured reserve. For fans, this was a reminder of how fluid NFL rosters remain deep into training camp. Coaches and executives are still searching for the right balance between seasoned veterans, promising rookies, and injury replacements. And in the Bears' case, the injuries in the defensive backfield forced some urgent action. The secondary has taken heavy hits this summer. Star cornerback Jalen Johnson has been nursing an injury, versatile nickel defender Kyler Garden has been sidelined, and depth options like Terrell Smith and others have missed valuable reps. This left Chicago dangerously thin in a position group critical to the aggressive, man coverage heavy scheme defensive coordinator Al Harris prefers. To patch the holes, the Bears added 4 defensive backs, each with a unique skill set and journey to the NFL. These aren't random camp bodies. Each signing comes with a backstory, a purpose, and in some cases, a real shot to stick beyond preseason. But as new faces arrive, others must leave. Unfortunately, that meant saying goodbye to 3 players who had been working hard to make the 53-man roster. Jonathan Kim, the rookie kicker with a strong leg, was among the first cuts. His competition with veteran Cairo Santos was always an uphill battle, and Santos's pinpoint consistency in camp left little doubt about who would handle kicking duties in Week 1. The Bears also parted ways with John Jackson, a wide receiver and close friend of quarterback Caleb Williams from their USC days. This wasn't Jackson's first release from Chicago, and given his familiarity with the system, there's a chance the door isn't completely closed. But for now, his roster spot belongs to someone else. Finally, undrafted rookie safety Major Burns was waived/injured. Burns had flashed potential in off-season workouts, but an injury setback derailed his momentum. In a corresponding move, cornerback Shaun was placed on injured reserve, effectively ending his season unless he secures an injury settlement. These departures are the hard side of NFL business, where opportunity for some comes at the expense of others. For the Bears, it's all about finding the right mix of healthy, reliable, and scheme-fitting players to withstand a long season. And the 4 newcomers they signed on August 12th might just be the lifeline the secondary needs. The Bears' 4 defensive back signings are not household names, at least not yet. But each arrives with athletic traits, positional versatility, and just enough NFL or college production to intrigue the coaching staff. Mark Perry safety at 24 years old. Mark Perry comes to Chicago as a hard-hitting safety from TCU with a reputation for physical play. Standing 6 foot and weighing 213 pounds, Perry's style draws comparisons to former Bears safety Mike Brown, a smart, instinctive defender who isn't afraid to lower his shoulder. Perry split his college career between Colorado and TCU before entering the league as an undrafted free agent. He spent time with the Miami Dolphins and Tennessee Titans, bouncing between practice squads and active rosters. While his NFL resume is still modest, his athletic testing, including a 4.42-second 40-yard dash and a 37-inch vertical, speaks to untapped potential. At TCU, Perry posted 58 tackles in his final season, forced a fumble, and broke up multiple passes. That combination of tackling consistency and ball awareness could make him a valuable depth piece or special teams contributor in Chicago. Mekhi Garner, quarterback, perhaps the most intriguing of the new signings. Mekhi Garner is a 6'2", 215-pound quarterback with long arms and a knack for disrupting passing lanes. After a college career at Louisiana and LSU, Gardner signed with the Philadelphia Eagles as an undrafted rookie in 2023. He spent last season in their system, gaining experience in a playoff-caliber environment. Gardner's athletic profile, highlighted by a 38.5-inch vertical, makes him dangerous in jump ball situations. In his final season at LSU, he racked up 42 solo tackles, 8 pass breakups, and showed willingness to contribute in run support. For the Bears, Gardner's size fits perfectly with Al Harris's preference for big, physical corners who can jam receivers at the line. Whether he earns a roster spot or lands on the practice squad, he's a developmental talent worth keeping close. Before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Kaleb Hayes, cornerback, the fastest man in this batch of signings might be Kaleb Hayes, a 26-year-old defensive back out of BYU and Oregon State. Clocking an official 4.33-second 40-yard dash, Hayes brings elite speed to a secondary that needs help against vertical passing attacks. Hayes' pro journey has been windy. He's had stints with the Jacksonville Jaguars, New York Giants, and Denver Broncos, plus time in the XFL. His combination of long arms, leaping ability 40-inch vertical, and track speed makes him an interesting option for both defensive packages and special teams. During his senior year at BYU, Hayes logged 36 tackles and showed solid ball tracking skills. Chicago may initially deploy him as a gunner on punt coverage, but with his athleticism, it wouldn't be surprising to see him challenging for nickel or dime snaps. Millard Bradford safety rounding out the group is Millard Bradford, another TCU product who spent last season with the New Orleans Saints. At 5'10" and 191 pounds, Bradford is shorter than Perry but plays with relentless energy. His college tape shows a defender who excels in blitz packages, often timing his rushes perfectly to disrupt quarterbacks. Bradford's final year at TCU was productive. 2 interceptions, 54 total tackles, and a forced fumble. His ability to play both deep safety and slot corner gives the Bears flexibility, something that becomes invaluable during a grueling NFL season. With these 4 signings, the Bears have addressed an immediate depth crisis while also giving themselves long-term evaluation opportunities. All 4 will need to impress in practice and preseason action to secure their spots, but the raw tools are there. Injuries are an inevitable part of football, but for the Bears, the cluster of setbacks in the defensive backfield threaten to derail defensive preparation. Chicago's scheme relies heavily on tight man coverage, disguised blitz, and aggressive run support from corners and safeties. Without healthy bodies, that approach becomes impossible to sustain. By adding Perry, Gardner, Hayes, and Bradford, the Bears now have fresh legs, competitive energy, and specialized skill sets to fill the gaps. Perry brings tackling reliability, Gardner offers size and length, Hayes injects top-end speed, and Bradford adds versatility and blitz capability. From a roster-building perspective, these are low-risk, high-upside moves. None of the 4 command large salaries, and all have the chance to develop under the Bears' coaching staff. Even if only 1 or 2 ultimately make the 53-man roster, the competition they create in camp raises the performance level across the board. The ripple effect of these signings also extends to special teams. Chicago's coverage units have been inconsistent, and adding fast, physical defensive backs should immediately improve lane discipline and tackling on punts and kickoffs. For fans, the takeaway is clear. Ryan Poles and his staff are willing to act decisively when weaknesses emerge. The Bears are not content to wait for injured starters to return. They're actively seeking reinforcements to keep the team competitive. As preseason continues, keep an eye on how these new defensive backs are used in exhibition games. Special team snaps will be telling, but the real intrigue will come when they're tested in man coverage against opposing receivers. A strong performance could turn a mid-August signing into a September contributor. And while these moves were sparked by necessity, they might just uncover hidden gems who can help Chicago's defense long after the injury list clears. In the NFL, opportunity often comes suddenly. For these 4 new Bears, August 12th was the day their shot arrived.